whoever you are, wherever you are, hope you are blessed and doing safe. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings, family. Of course, I'm tuning in. You see me without the glasses off today, but if you're looking for some opportunities, particular advertisement opportunities, then look no further at the link at the bottom to my email address. You can hit me up for advertisement opportunities. We are supporting and promoting your businesses here on this channel. You can also, if you would like to donate and subscribe to our Patreon, a link is at the bottom as well. So you have multiple ways in which you can advertise with the platform by emailing me when we go on do our live stream. You also have access to premium content, those that want to see premium content that you will not find here on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, as I am suspended probably by now. You guys can check out the Patreon at link at the bottom. But advertisement opportunities, definitely email me, gavin.grich1@gmail.com for rates. And for the Patreon, it is the same as the YouTube channel. It is channel gboot2786. All right, I'll holla. Peace. Oh, you knew I wasn't going to give up on a Thursday. What's up, family? You know, happy Thanksgiving. I'm going to say happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Even if you don't celebrate the holiday or so forth, you do have something to be thankful, especially if you're alive and kicking. You're breathing, you are achieving, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm thankful for you all. I know I'm going against what I said I was going to do yesterday. I said there would be no show on Thursday, but I couldn't resist to come on for a little bit to talk to you all tonight. This is in spite of the YouTube shadow ban, the social media shadow ban. You all see my Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle. If you believe I'm worth my time, you can compensate me for my time. But I wanted to come on tonight because we got a lot to talk about. Something very important I want to talk about. But I want to say a happy Thanksgiving to all, or as we call it tonight, Happy Gavs Giving. That's right. It is Gavs Giving, ladies and gentlemen. It is Gavs Giving. And I want to thank you all for coming out with me, supporting me this year, despite the difficulties. People like Cheryl Massey, Computer Robots, uh, a bunch of people, Sherry, Danielle, uh, Star, Black Mama, all of you all, Darius from Atlanta, Cece, all of you all who come on this channel. If I don't name you, forgive me, it's my head, not my heart. I'm thankful. Happy Gabs given to you all. And I hope you all have had your fill of turkey, or as we have it first here, gumbo. If you finish playing spoons and spades with your family, your relatives, good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, this is not going to be a long live stream. I don't intend it to be. And I was not going to come on tonight. But something caught my interest on this Thursday. And Sean, of course, he made it clear to me he wasn't coming on doing any live stream. Everything's going to be pre-recorded because he's busy somewhere making a sweet potato pie. We also know he's busy eating one by himself. But shout out to Sean. But we got a lot to talk about because main thing I wanted to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, this happened as I'm eating my gumbo, drinking my Coke. I get the notifications I'm baking my mac and cheese right in the kitchen that Eric Adams, Mayor Eric Adams of New York, has been hit with an allegation of sexual assault. But not only has Eric Adams been hit, so has the maestro himself, entertainer extraordinaire Jamie Foxx. He has been hit with a lawsuit, along with several other individuals, including Cuba Gooding Jr., Axl Rose, Bill Cosby, uh, and a bunch of others. There's also a doctor who is a gynecologist who is now being sued for sexual assault. And this is under that new law that is in New York called the Adult Survivors Act. So this act is set to expire today, Thanksgiving Day. And so what is happening now is that now that this law is set to expire, that they can file, they've had over 2,500 lawsuits that have been filed in the past year alone, as you can see here, under this interim law. This basically revives what was thrown out by a statute of limitations and revives everything now. Oh, shout out to Carl CC. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know we got more than two people in here. YouTube, y'all are on that BS. We know that. Come on, y'all. We can smash up the likes, smash up the likes, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. So they've both been hit with accusations of sexual assault, and they're charged with, uh, there are no charges that have been filed on Jamie Foxx or Eric Adams. But this is the lawsuit, and we see with Bill Cosby, we already know what Dr. Cosby has had to go through as a result in the last, I want to say, 9 years that he's been dealing with these allegations, these false allegations, I would say, I dare say, I believe, because everything is coming up outside the statute of limitations. There's no police reports, there's nothing. He has not been charged or convicted of anything. And that conviction that he had, if you're going to use that, we all know was thrown out because it was an unjust kangaroo court proceeding. The lawsuit has, so because of this new law, people are coming out of the woodwork. This is my opinion, and making and coming forth and suing everybody because I'm just gonna say it. They want to get a money grab. That's what it looks like to me. Even if let's just say some of the allegations were true. Well, we have a statute of limitations in place that was in place in the beginning, and now you want to change it so somebody can file a lawsuit. Something that had never been done before. Well, can an argument be made for if the roles were reversed? And by that I mean, what if it were a man accusing a woman of sexual harassment? Something that happened 20 years ago. Well, it's expired. Well, you will revive this to go after these men. How far we can go back? Where does it end? Is the question that I have, and a question that we all should ask. Because if you opened it now for this, what about the hundreds of others? Let's say that are legitimate. That could have been proven but weren't. Marcellus Riley has also been named in a suit in, I believe, out in Columbia, because he played for Columbia University, if I'm not mistaken, and the 48-year-old woman who has filed the lawsuit is now a professor, I believe, at one of the Ivy League schools, filed this. And Marcellus Wiley, he has even commented on his YouTube about it, and he's accused of full-on rape. He is accused of that. Of course, he's denying it. Now, and he's responded to it. Wiley, of course, was with ESPN at one time. He was also with Fox Sports. He admitted that he had messed around with the alleged victim, but then called the lawsuit bullshit, in his own words. And he said this and posted a lengthy video on his YouTube channel where he commented on this. And he admits that he, quote, was interested in the woman at the time. So he obviously knows her if he knows about the lawsuit. But he says that he just messed around with her and she even invited him back to her room. But he's denying that he had sex with her. He's also being accused of taking her virginity. He's like, no, that never happened. He said, I'm not going to be your first. If you're a virgin, I'm not going to be your first, because I'm not looking at it with the same respect, esteem, honor that you should. We did mess around, but no vaginal intercourse. That's what he's saying. But that's Marcellus Wiley, by the way. And this is his wife and family. That's his wife, Anna Marie, who's on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And those are his children. Beautiful family. Now, we're going to play the video. But someone we got to throw in there, Eric Adams, is being accused of sexual assault. So I'm going to play this video. right here, ladies and
With
gentlemen.
New York Mayor Adams, who is now facing a lawsuit claiming that he sexually assaulted a woman back in 1993. The woman says she was a city employee when she was sexually assaulted by Mr. Adams, who was a police captain for the NYPD at the time. Just a short time ago, Mayor Adams responded to those allegations. And Eyewitness News reporter Tom Negevin has been following these breaking details this morning. He joins us now from the Lower East Side. So, Tom, what do we know?
Well, we know the mayor says he had nothing to do with this. It doesn't know this woman, and through a spokesman says this just simply never happened. In fact, he made those denials in person to our Crystal Cranmore earlier today. That in a moment. First, the mayor's next stop on his Thanksgiving Day tour of the city here at the Bowery Mission on the Lower East Side. He'll appear around 1 o'clock this afternoon, help to hand out some Thanksgiving meals. But of course, following him today, some controversy he is absolutely not thankful for at all. It goes back 3 decades to 1993 when he was an NYPD captain, and it is alleged that he sexually assaulted a woman who we are not naming. The suit claiming she too was a city employee at that time. The suit seeking $5 million in damages. Again, a spokesperson for the mayor immediately responding this morning saying he had no knowledge of this woman or these allegations. The mayor offering this denial in person to Eyewitness News just a short time ago.
Absolutely not true. I would never do anything to harm anyone, and just really say, my career speaks for itself, and just really it's just something absolutely that has never happened. And I only recall ever meeting the person who made this allegation.
The lawsuit against the mayor, one of about 2,500 made under the New York State Adult Survivors Act, which expires at midnight tonight. It removes the statute of limitations for lawsuits filed by alleged victims of sexual assault. Among the other prominent names facing lawsuits in the waning hours of the act, Cuba Gooding Jr., Jamie Foxx, Bill Cosby, and rocker Axl Rose. Again, the mayor appearing here at the Bowery Mission around 1 o'clock this afternoon, continuing to deny the allegations in the lawsuit filed late last.
Now, I'm not the biggest Eric Adams fan at all. And I do think the timing of these lawsuits are interesting as well with that survival. We know that that act is set to expire tonight, as you heard. So the last set of them are rolling in. And I mentioned Marcellus Wiley. I think it's important to point out in that instance, it's my understanding that the alleged victim in that case, in this lawsuit that she has filed, she claims that she had reported it to the administrators, but was she was dispelled from pursuing it any further. She is also named Columbia University. I'm talking about Marcellus Wiley. She's named Columbia University in the lawsuit. Now, you got to realize the money, ladies and gentlemen, is not with Marcellus Wiley. The money, if you're a plaintiff's attorney, is going at the school for negligence, as well as going at the school, going at their insurance company, because that's where the money is. It's just like when they want to sue. When you had the use of, I'm sorry, it's just like when they a few years ago. I don't know if you saw the documentary about online. It was a documentary about the Lion King and the song that one in the jungle. Well, that was copywriting a song written by a South African man, a black man, and they ended up. Of course, that song in the jungle. That song has been put in different movies like Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, Coming to America, and so forth, but also in The Lion King. Well, the family who they sued Walt Disney. Why did they sue Walt Disney and not the others? Because Disney is the wealthiest of the defendants. That's why they did it. That's why they did it. Now, I'm not saying, of course, he knows this woman, and I wasn't there, but it could have happened. But getting back to Mayor Eric Adams, he's saying it's not true, but at this point in age, with all of these laws that are changing, you have to ask the question, you know, what is there smoke to when there's smoke there's fire, or is money bringing out the women? It was money bringing out the rats. It's I'm yes, sexual assault and stuff can happen. Of course, there are women who get groped, who get their titty touched, and yes, that's true. That's bad. That is a form of a battery. It is illegal. At best, though, I can tell you, a sexual battery in of itself, you touch a woman's ass or anything like that, that's a misdemeanor. That's not a felony. Now, of course, when it deals with minors, then that's something a little bit different. And I'm not saying it's not right. Yes, it's wrong, but at the same time, if you waited 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, and let's say there were witnesses, the problem then is that if you had witnesses that were there, then a jury or a judge would have to ask the question, or good criminal defense attorney will ask, ma'am, would you say your memory was better in 1994 or in 2024? Oh, it was better in 94. That's because the time period when that time is so lapsed, we can't even remember what we ate that day. I'm talking about that and fast forward. Some people can't even remember what they had for breakfast that same day if they were asked. How can I prove this? That's the problem. And now Jamie Foxx is being accused of sexual assault as well. So we're going to take a look at that.
The window is closing for New Yorkers to sue for sexual assaults that took place outside the usual statute of limitations. The Adult Survivors Act is set to expire this week. Fox 5's Linda Schmidt live in our newsroom with more on this. Linda.
Yeah, hi there, Teresa. Well, first of all, tonight, the law has given survivors of sexual abuse the right to file civil lawsuits in the past year for alleged abuse that happened.
Yes, civil lawsuits, meaning it's about money to give survivors, but we don't know if they're survivors or not. There has been no charges. You can't put somebody in jail. They're presumed innocent until proven guilty, yet, but you can sue.
In some cases, decades ago. And some of these cases have been filed against Donald Trump, movie mogul Harvey Weinstein, hip hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs, and tonight, actor Jamie Foxx.
E. Jean Carroll used the Adult Survivors Act to win a $5 million civil lawsuit against former President Donald Trump, accusing him of sexual assault and suing him for defamation. Disgraced New York gynecologist Robert Haddon was sentenced to 20 years in prison in July for sexually abusing some patients. Last month, hundreds more filed suit using the New York law. Just last week, hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs settled a lawsuit with R&B singer Cassie after she claimed Combs raped and abused her. And now, actor Jamie Foxx has been accused in a civil lawsuit of sexually assaulting a woman in New York City back in 2015. These high-profile cases and thousands
Let
of sexually.
Let me pause it for a second. I want you to pay attention. Jamie Foxx is named in the lawsuit, but so is, because he's obviously the biggest name on here. But they also list Catch New York and Roof, Catch New York and Roof, that's the bar, Mark Birnbaum, Catch Hospitality Group, 25 9th Avenue Corporation LLC, CA2127 9th Avenue LLC. You notice they mention these companies. All right. Pay attention to that. I'm going to get back to it.
Assaulting a woman in New York City back in 2015. These high-profile cases and thousands more are the result of 1 year ago, giving survivors an opportunity for justice.
They want history to reveal what happened to them. They don't want their abusers to get away with it.
Attorney Megan Goddard represents multiple women. The Adult Survivors Act also goes after corporations, businesses, and organizations that cover up for the alleged abusers. But the special legislation expires this week. Goddard wants Albany to extend it.
There's people who are calling me this week who just found out about it for the first time after Sean Combs was sued. They're living in Florida or California or Missouri or wherever. They know what's going on in New York. They didn't hear about this law.
A Penthouse model is now suing Guns N' Roses frontman Axl Rose, accusing him of sexually assaulting her in a New York City hotel room in 1989. State Senator Brad Hoylman Siegel co-sponsored the Survivors Act and says he is working to convince the state legislature to extend it.
There is a push among advocates, and I have to say I agree with them, to either open a new window or extend it permanently.
And as of right now, there are thousands of lawsuits that have been filed under the Adult Survivors Act in the past year. But once again, that window of opportunity closes this week. Teresa, back upstairs to you.
All right, Linda, thank you.
That attorney's eyes was open so big. Her eyes was open so big, she just saw the dollar signs pouring in. That's why I will never move to New York. Not that I have anything to hide, but when you have politicians like this in New York and California, respectively, who pass laws that are unconstitutional, in my book, these laws are unconstitutional. Because how can you defend something from think of this, you got to stand trial for something in 1968 that criminally, there's a statute of limitation against it. You can't be criminally charged, but I'm going to open it up now. You were 20 something, now you're going on 80 something, and I got to stand trial for whether or not I slapped a woman on the ass. I want y'all to think about this is how, and I'm not being insensitive to it, but look, I noticed when, if you remember back in the day, especially coming up, a lot women were not. I'm not going to say there aren't women who are victims, and I want to be careful with my words so you understand this. But when women got smacked on the ass or groped or anything like that, a lot of women would fight back. They would punch the guy or slap him. I've seen countless videos. I'm talking about it from the 90s when a man would touch a girl's ass and she would walk up to him and slap him right in the face. You watch some of the music videos, you see where they pull a girl's top down. She went and go slap the guy. And that was that. They didn't go file charges. They didn't go and get Gloria Allred to go make a lawsuit out of it. This generation, I'm just going to say it doesn't want to work. So I'm not going to say all of them, but I'm just speaking in general. We have laziness in this community, in this country right now. And essentially anybody doesn't want to work. They want shit. People want stuff for free. I saw it when I was a professor at Southern. Kids were, even though it was after COVID, we had virtual classes, and I'm teaching kids about criminal law. I give them an assignment to do. They actually have the criminal code they could use. I go over everything with them. And criminal law, for those of you, if you're not in law school, that's one of the easiest courses you can have. There's a lot you have to give and put out and know, but it's simple. If you see the fact pattern, the examiner is telling you what to look at. But and this was open book, one of my exams, and I was surprised, or I shouldn't be, by the answers I saw from someone where they would just give one word sentence. The question's worth 40 points. I say list the crimes, and you're given 2 or 3 sentences. You think that's enough to get 40 points? They didn't want any. They want to be told and led instead of going and get. And that's what we have with this thing. Yeah, she smacked the dude. Now, I always thought that, and I think that was a real thing that they actually shot just by her reaction. If it wasn't, she's a hell of an actor. I wish we would have known who that actress was because if you remember, they blurred her face out in the video. No, you need an essay response. If I say Sam and Marion stole some money and then a man gets shot and killed, I'm obviously talking about a theft. I'm also talking about a murder. Is it second degree or first degree? You got to explain. You give your answer, but then explain it. That tells me you know what you're talking about. And there were some who were good, who did give, I'm not going to lie, there were a few who did a good job. But the others were just freaking, just lazy. And that's what we got with this. A way, this is a way to get money. And Jamie, we know, I mean, Jamie already had an issue where he made some remarks, remarks about Jesus, and a certain group of people interpreted that to be anti-Semitic. Y'all remember what happened with Jamie, and Jamie had to apologize. So everybody's got to ask. Every black entertainer got to have an asterisk by his name, as what Eddie Griffin said. That's what's going on. We're gonna continue to monitor this, but Jamie Foxx better watch out, man, because all of those black men entertainers, especially when you go around, and I'm not talking about Jamie per se, but you know, a lot of the celebrities. I remember when Jamie was always cracking on OJ about how he did it, making jokes on it. With that's part of it in comedy. But now the roles are reversed. You're a celebrity. People will say stuff about you. People are always gonna say something about you. But now, yeah, and Jamie's gonna have to deal with that. And speaking of certain groups, ladies and gentlemen, we got to call this out. This is one of the last things I'm gonna get to. Hit that like, share, and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. I'm switching gears. And we can switch gears anytime. No offense, Molly Karen. Joe Biden's poll numbers continue to slip. We were talking about the particular groups, but especially with this handling what's going on in Israel. And by the way, I think they agreed, if I'm not mistaken, I got alert that Israel and Hamas had agreed to a ceasefire with regards to the hostage negotiations. They have several hostages that they're holding over there. And you had fools like Michael Rappaport trying to come at black folks. Michael Rappaport, walking syphilis, the walking herpes wart, that decided to come at black folk. Saying if this were black people, would we even be asking about what we should do? He wants to come out and attack black folks for not supporting what's going on in Israel. But this is NBC. And they're talking about Joe Biden, President Biden's handling of the Israel-Hamas war, and they say that his standing has hit a new low. So I want you to pay attention. This is from Meet the Press.
Out this morning, which shows the toll it is taking on the president. I'm joined now by national political correspondent Steve Kornacki to take us through the numbers. Steve, some real stunning highlights here in this poll.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're right to set it up that way. What's happening in the Middle East, it really does seem to be connecting with what's happening domestically in our politics. Let's start with the bottom line here. President Biden, what is his job approval rating? We measure it now at 40%, with 57% disapproving. The significance, that is the lowest President Biden has ever measured in our poll in terms of job approval. And just look at the sea change from the start of this year. Remember, early this year, Democrats coming off a strong 2022 midterm. He was almost even. Now he's 17 points underwater on this question.
Significant dip there, Steve.
It is. And you can actually, if you take a look here by party, I think it's significant for two reasons. One, independents, obviously more than 2-1 disapprove. You don't want to be there as an incumbent president, but I think equally significant, no surprise, 7% of Republicans approve of Joe Biden's job performance, but 3 times as many Democrats, 21%, that's more than 1 in 5, say they disapprove. You need much more unified support in your own party if you're going to have a successful reelection campaign. And we mentioned the drop in that approval rating and the connection to the Middle East. And here it is. On foreign policy, 33% approve of Joe Biden's job performance. Just in September, we asked the same question, and it was 41-53.
These numbers surprised our own pollsters, Steve, with one saying he cannot remember a time when a foreign entanglement that didn't involve U.S. troops had the capacity to transform the electorate. And that's not the case in this poll.
No, and go even a step further on this one. I think this jumps out at you, too. Overall, this is the handling of the Israel-Hamas war. And again, it kind of measures overall up with Biden's foreign policy approval. But look at this. Among the oldest group of voters, 65 plus, there's a majority who approve of how Biden is handling this. That's plus 12. Look at the youngest group of voters.
They don't have that much time anyway left. The senior citizens are, of course, going to rally behind a fellow senior citizen.
20 approve, 70% disapprove. He is 50 points underwater with the youngest group of voters. That is a 62-point net swing between youngest and oldest on this topic of Israel-Hamas.
And it's a critical group of voters that he needs in order to win re-election.
Y'all some damn fools if you don't vote for Biden in your 18 and 34. You's a bunch of damn fools. Happy Thanksgiving, but y'all shouldn't be roasting the turkeys. That's my relatives. That's my fellow cousins. You roast. I prefer if you use. Well, I don't even want you to use ham. Because that's closer to me. I would prefer if you roasted a pot roast instead of a ham. Welcome to TV One. Oh, I'm canceled from them there.
That's for sure.
Absolutely. So we're showing you Biden's problems here. And the question is, who will the Republicans nominate to oppose him? And again, Donald Trump towering above the field here. 2 others in double digits. Compare this to our last poll. And again, Trump is steady. The only growth you're really seeing, the only change, it's right there. Nikki Haley, she grew last time. She grew a little bit more this time into double digits.
And
she's got as much a chance as Herbert Hoover, please.
Those numbers are fueled by non-Trump voters. I've been talking to sources inside Trump world who say they're not panicking because of that, but it's clear she's got some real momentum here, Steve.
She does, and her challenge is just what you say. You look at voters who call themselves conservative, very conservative. They're very pro-Trump. They seem a little reluctant, a little resistant to her. She's got to break through not just with moderates and independents. She's got to break through with core Republican voters who like Donald Trump if she wants to make this a real game with Trump. Okay, so if we are heading towards Trump, Biden, a rematch in 2024, how does that look in our polling right now? Here it is. Wow. Donald Trump, we have at 46%. Biden, 44%.
And this is significant because this is the first time in the history of our poll that former President Trump beats President Biden, still within the margin of error, but still significant.
Yeah, in 2019, 2020, when Trump was president, he trailed all of them. This year, he's trailed all of them in our poll. First time in more than a dozen polls, we've seen a result like this. Some of the other ingredients that go into that, Biden has long had an advantage over Trump on likability. Look, at the start of this year, 39% said they had a positive view of Biden, barely 30% of Trump. We've seen consistently a gap like this. Now, the gap is gone. 36 positive on both. And actually, Biden 1 point more negative than Trump. That's been a significant advantage for Biden. Our poll says that advantage, at least for now, may be gone. And we talked about younger voters on foreign policy, and it's true on a host of other topics. Disaffected with Joe Biden. We have 46% for Trump, 42% for Biden among the youngest voters. The youngest voters in the 2020 election were Biden plus 26. This could be a massive sea change. And if you take a look here, too, everybody sort of says, hey, I'm not too nuts about the possibility of this matchup. So we said, let's measure this one way. And here's how we did it. Biden against an unnamed Republican. This is just a referendum on Biden, basically. And look at this. He goes from being in a dogfight with Trump to being double digits behind, but then flip it around. Trump against an unnamed Democrat. Trump goes from leading against Biden to being down by 6 points against the Democrat.
Just a fascinating look at the state of the race with just a little under a year to go.
Right. So what you have there essentially is Joe Biden is not popular as a none of that. No, everything on NBC. You got to realize that's a network that is basically the calling call for the Democratic Party. They are the Democratic Party headquarters at NBC. Same thing with Communist News Network, CNN. You know, news media is supposed to be unbiased. They don't follow that over at those networks anymore. What say you all about? So you got to realize too, with Joe Biden, outside of his age, even with that, even with his age being considered, he has just not been a great president in terms of foreign policies. Look what he's not just with Israel, supporting Israel when a lot of people are supporting Palestine. Outside of that, but also his handling, from what happened of the border. That's the big thing. The other thing is the economy. The economy situation. We're about to have inflation. If not, it's already here. You have uh, Kamala Harris, and that's another thing. If she's going to be the running mate for him, there are a lot of people in the back of their minds wondering, well, if something does happen to Joe Biden, do we want Kamala Harris to be our commander in chief? Those are questions that a lot of people are asking and curious about. Do I want her to be my next president? And many are saying no. But what say you all, ladies and gentlemen? The question, Charles, is: are you all sold on Joe Biden as president? The question is: do you want Kamala Harris? Do you want Kamala Harris to be your next president? That's the question, Charles. No, it didn't freeze. I was paused looking at something. Excuse me. There's no poll for it. I'm just asking, and you can put it in the chat. Hell no. Nobody wants that. Exactly. Exactly. And I do believe that if another Democratic candidate would run against Donald Trump, maybe they would have a better chance. But they're giving it to Joe because he's the incumbent and he's the bigger name. And right now, the Democrats are in trouble, especially here in Louisiana. The reason why John Bell Edwards ran and was successful as president, as governor of Louisiana, was because he was actually a conservative. He was a conservative Democrat, and he could appeal to Republicans and conservatives on some issues. So, and he was better for the economy. I have my issues with him. On the other hand, but on the other hand, when you have a Sean Wilson, who ran for governor unsuccessfully in Louisiana, he had as much a chance as Huey P. Long right now. And the problem was that Sean didn't do enough to campaign to get that. I've heard from reliable sources he actually tanked the race, which that wouldn't surprise me if he did because it just came off. He didn't, like I said, he didn't even campaign down here that much. So that's why I question whether he really had his heart into it. All right, fam. But what say you? A lot of people say I don't give a hoot. That is, yeah. Yeah, roly poly has a I wonder what Roly had for Thanksgiving. You know, we throw down before that Thanksgiving. You know, Roly was stepping like he was at the Alpha Phi Alpha 105th anniversary. Step time. Stepping on the floor, playing some Gap Band. Stepping out on the floor. You boogie want some more. You boogie with your people, baby. You can boogie with me. I stepping low. Fucker was dancing to Confunction. If you want that special lover, you could keep eyes too tied. Your love can keep tied to another. That's the way it goes on love's train. Don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing. Sometimes strings can be broken, but you just have to keep on stroking. That's the way it goes on love train. On love train. If you are that special lover, and love keeps you tied to another, that's the way it goes on love train. It don't mean, but if by chance you can come over, let me stop. If warm nights, can't sleep, too tired to eat. Got to call you up. Give it up. All right, y'all. We're gonna wrap this up. I wanted to talk about that. Yeah, so I don't think Biden has a strong chance of winning. But you had protesters fudged up the Macy's parade. No, What happened with that? I was watching it today, actually. What were they protesting? Oh, pro-Palestine? Yeah, okay. I see it. All right. So this was at the Thanksgiving Day parade. Some pro-Palestine protesters disrupted the parade. Hold on, we'll see. So that's it there. So they just jumped into the route. And they were taken into custody. I don't know if y'all, I've never been to New York, but I do know all of that is barricaded up. They have police walking back and forth usually. So I'm wondering how they were able to just jump up there. But, they probably knew where they were supposed to hit. That's a good thing. I mean, not a good thing, but they knew where to hit. So, yeah, I see that. God, if I got to see Taylor Swift one more time. By the way, fam, while I'm on here before I get off, I want to point out you can go to Spotify right now, or you can go to Apple iTunes. I have a new song that I have been working on actually the past couple of months. I've been working on some new music. Me and Sizzle, we got together, and just in time for Christmas, I have a song that I've written, a new song. Hold on a second. I don't want y'all to know the password, but the single is called Be My Baby. You can jump barricades. Well, yeah, you can. But the thing is that you can jump them, but you also got to remember there's police that are walking up and down on those barricades easy. And they got a full on banner, and there's at least, as I counted, close to 15 people. It looked like close to 15 people. Kid Gravity. But I have a Christmas single that you all can go on Spotify, check out. This is actually a demo mix that I had. I wasn't trying to release the song as a full single, but uh, I wrote this one with Sizzle, and you all can take a listen. I don't want to play it because I'm gonna get a copyright strike on my own stuff, but I was working on that. I was trying to actually sell a song, but go to my Spotify. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put the link here. I'm also gonna tell y'all, really don't just go to Spotify. I need you to go to Apple iTunes and buy it. Just listen to it and share it and tell me what you think. So that's on iTunes as well. It's also on YouTube, but I prefer. It is the holidays, and if you could, I would prefer if you all would go to iTunes right now and buy that song on Apple iTunes. Is it on iTunes? I should be on. If you're, let's see. I don't know why it's not on there. Okay. I gotta check and see why my shit is not on iTunes. I think it takes a little time before it gets uploaded into iTunes, so it's probably not there right now. But I think it takes like a week or so before it gets there. But this was a demo mix that I did, and I'm just was, and of course I'm trying to enter it into a songwriting contest right now. But yeah, it says okay, so it says it was there. So let me check. So yeah, yeah, they're gonna be in central booking until that's correct. Central booking for yes the holidays. Then they gotta have they gotta have a bail that's set. It's the holidays. Maybe they might be able to get out tomorrow, just depending on if they can get to the judge. If they're able to get to a judge in time. Drop the Spotify link. I'm trying to find the iTunes here. I don't see my iTunes link for some reason. Let's see. Okay, I got it right here. Let's see. Copy link. There we go. All right. I just dropped it. So y'all should see it. Sorry. All right. We're gonna wrap this one up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna get up out of here. Oh, it's been fun. Hope you all are safe and doing blessed. You have a blessed Thanksgiving. Uh, you're enjoying yourselves with your family for the rest of the week. Now, all right. Shout out to Sean if he's watching. Also, thank you, Torian, Rain, CC, Kid Gravity. Yeah, but y'all check out the link, the iTunes link to play the song. We're gonna be promoting it. I'm actually looking to put it up with trying to get it to a record company. So we'll see what happens. All right. Y'all be safe. Be one. Be blessed, ladies and gentlemen. And I bees out. I'll holla. Oh, we got a lot going on too, man, with Bayou Classic this week. So I hope everything is good. They're already talking about how there was a shooting on Canal Street last night, and they try to tie the thing to Bayou Classic, which doesn't have a damn thing to do with it. But you know, they always got to mention it. But please be safe out there, man. It's rough in the street. All right, y'all. Be one, be safe, be blessed. I'll holler. Peace out.